Hi there. It's September the 22nd, and we're continuing our progress through the prophecies of Isaiah, in Hebrew Yeshayahu, meaning the Lord will save. And we've come to chapter 39, 40, and then the first part of 41. Chapter 39 is the last of the narrative chapters, but it's linked to what comes after because it's the account of the coming of the representatives of Babylon to see the treasures of Jerusalem and Judah. And the following part, chapters 40 to 66 in the prophecy, are really the aftermath of the Babylonian captivity and the returning of the exiles of Jerusalem back from Babylon. So there's a kind of connection between the two. So in chapter 39, the King Hezekiah hosts the son of King Baladan of Babylon. Now at this time, Assyria is still very much in charge, but Babylon is a rising power. And so it may be that because Hezekiah is proud of what he has, proud of God's deliverance from Assyria, or he's trying to forge alliance with Babylon because he sees them as a helping hand against Assyria, for whatever reason, he has Merodach Baladan, the son of King Baladan of Babylon, come and shows him round everything in his kingdom and kind of shows him all of his treasures, all of his wonderful things that he has. Isaiah the prophet then is really perturbed to hear this and asks Hezekiah, "What did you show this son of the king?" And he said, "I showed him everything. I didn't hold anything back from him. I showed him all our treasures. I showed him all of the things in the temple." And then Isaiah says, "They're going to come back. And actually, when they come back, they will take away everything that they've seen. And this will result in the downfall of the kingdom of Judah." Hezekiah has a very strange reaction to this at the end. He says, "Well, if that's what the Lord has decreed, so be it. I'm just glad it isn't going to happen in my day." And thus the narrative section of Isaiah finishes. Then we come to Isaiah 40, which begins with those famous words again, which Handel put into the Messiah: "Comfort, comfort my people. Speak comfortably to Jerusalem and say her warfare is accomplished." Now, this section from 40 to 66, many scholars would want to attribute to someone other than Isaiah. They say that it's written later, it's in a different style, it has a different rhythm, a different scheme to it. Others want to say, no, it has to be one of a kind, or it has to be in the same tradition with the first part of Isaiah, the first prophecies of Isaiah. Generally, it's considered to be a second, or a Deutero-Isaiah, as some call it, a second part of Isaiah. Whether it's written by the same person or not, the content is important. The content has been appended into this book because it continues the themes which have been begun in the first part of the book. So we don't need to get too hung up about who has authored this, but what we do need to see is that the themes and the unfolding of the second part of the book develop what's been happening in the first part. And the theme is very much now of redemption. And so the opening chapter 40 here of this section, "Comfort, comfort my people." He will feed his flock like a shepherd. He will gently lead those who are with young. Israel and Judah have been through terrible times, and Judah is now going to be restored. God says, "I have redeemed you. I am the one who has redeemed you. And actually my glory will be seen. Every valley will be filled. Every mountain will be brought low. And the glory of the Lord will be seen. The glory of the Lord will be made obvious." And this is a powerful picture of God bringing back his people and revealing his own will, his own desires in the land of Judah, in the land of Jerusalem, bringing back the people as they were. And then there's that famous part in the second part, which really is the cry of John the Baptist, a voice crying in the wilderness, "Make straight the ways of the Lord." This theme that John the Baptist takes up in proclaiming the coming of Messiah. There's something interesting here. It says, "What shall I cry?" Because there seems to be no permanence. Flesh is like grass, it withers. And it says that the hesed of men, the faithfulness of men, the covenant obligation of men just fades away. There's nothing reliable. But God says, actually, I am going to establish Zion. I am going to establish Jerusalem. I am going to feed my flock like a shepherd. I am going to carry the lambs with my arms. I'm going to do it by my power. And those who go to idols, those who go to the idols of silver and gold, they cannot compare with this great God, this one who is high and lifted up, this one who has made everything, this one who cannot be compared to anything or anyone. He gives power, it says at the end of chapter 40, to the faint. He strengthens the weary. He says even young people grow weary, but those who wait on the Lord, those who give themselves over to the Lord, renew their strength. They will run and not be weary, walk and not faint. And then in chapter 41, there's this word of the Lord to the nations, and saying, nations, you may turn to your idols, but I'm going to establish my people Israel. And actually he says, fear not, worm Jacob. Jacob has been like a worm in the exile, in the time away. It's become like a nothing. It's become an underground thing. It's become something that is not seen. It says, fear not, worm Jacob, because I'm going to make you, I'm going to turn things around, and I'm going to make you a threshing instrument, new, sharp, having teeth, and you'll thresh the mountains, and you'll see them blown away like chaff. All these things that seem to stand before you, I will remove, and I will restore you to your land and to your city. This is a real wonderful news, wonderful word that is coming here at the beginning of this second part of Isaiah. And we can know that we are included in that because of Messiah Jesus. We are also part of the redeemed of the Lord. These are words that also speak to us, that we can know that God is with us, that he will strengthen us, that he will renew our strength, and that he will create something new always out of his people who are dependent upon him. Have a very good September 22nd.